Hello everyone. Welcome to King's English Academy YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss how to write an professional email. Email is one of the most widely used forms of communication both in and out of the workplace. Because of its speed and efficiency, you will likely use email in some capacity no matter your role or industry. You can write professional emails for a variety of reasons. For example, you might need to recap an important meeting, exchange information, relay an important update, or send a letter of introduction. Welcome Post email provides the recipient with a friendly, clear, concise, and actionable message. Learning how to write an email that meets all of these criteria can take practice. Consider these tips and best practices to help you write effective professional emails. If you are not sure how to start an email, these 6 steps can help you craft a professional message. Number 1. Identify your goal. Before you write an email, ask yourself what you want the recipient to do after they have read it. Once you have determined the purpose of your email, you can ensure everything you include in your message supports this action. For example, if you want the recipient to review a report you have attached, let them know what the report is, why you need them to review it, what sort of feedback you need, and when you need the task completed. Number 2. Consider your audience. When you compose an email message, make sure your tone matches your audience. For example, if you are emailing a business executive you have never met, keep the email polished and free of any jokes or informalities. On the other hand, if you are emailing a colleague with whom you have a good relationship, you might use a less formal, more friendly approach. Number 3. Keep it concise. Your audience might have little time to read through your email, so make it as brief as possible without leaving out key information. Try not to address too many subjects at once, as this can make your message lengthy, challenging to read, and difficult to take action on. When editing your email, take out any information that's irrelevant to the topic you are addressing. Use short, simple sentences by removing filler words and extraneous information. This will make your note shorter and easier to read. Number 4. Proofread your email. An error-free email demonstrates diligence and professionalism. Before you send an email, take a moment to check for any spelling, grammar, or syntax errors. Also double-check to ensure you have included any attachments you may have referenced in your message. If it is an important email to critical stakeholders, you might ask your direct supervisor or a trusted colleague to read over it before you send it. Number 5. Use proper etiquette. Include a courteous greeting and closing to sound friendly and polite. Additionally, be considerate of the recipient and their time. For example, unless it's an emergency, avoid emailing a contact asking for something after hours or while they are on leave. Number 6. Remember to follow up. Most people receive several emails per day, so they might miss or forget to respond to your message. If the recipient hasn't replied within 2 working days, consider reaching back out with a friendly follow-up email. What you write in a professional email is important, and you would be surprised how much your font style and size matters to your reader. Make your font large enough so that the reader doesn't have to squint to consume the message, but not so large that the reader has to scroll to finish the entire email. Depending on how long your text is, a 10 to 12 point font size is optimal. Stick to the classics. Familiar fonts like Arial, Calibri, and Times New Roman all work well for professional emails. You may find that your email program uses one of these styles as a default. Using spaces properly makes your email message more readable. Add a line of space after the greeting, a line between each paragraph, and lines before and after the signature on your message. Having this white space makes it easier for readers to absorb text. Another handy way to introduce white space and make your email easy to scan and read is to use bullet points to break up long paragraphs. Let's see what the proper email format is. There are 11 fields in this format. Normally, the first two fields are auto-filled by your email service provider. The audience includes all the people included in the sender fields. This includes the to, CC and VCC fields, but main focus should be on those in the to field. Writing for the audience also means using these fields correctly. The to field is for the direct audience who needs to reply or take action from the email content. The CC field is for readers who need to receive the email conversation for reference or clarity but do not need to take action nor reply. The BCC field is for the audience who only needs to see the initial email and none of the later chain of replies. Incorrect usage of the sender field is a common business email mistake. It occurs when the audience and their roles are not thoughtfully considered. Use the BCC field very judiciously. Often, it's best to forward an email separately with a brief statement on why you are sending this information. Number 6. Subject line. This is another part of a professional email where many people ignore. The subject line is the first thing the recipient will come into contact. Note that the person you are writing to could be receiving hundreds of emails a day, and so it's imperative to make your subject line clear and brief. You need to grab your recipient's attention and also make them understand the purpose of your email so that they can know what action to take thereafter. Sending an email with a blank or vague subject line could easily get your email into the trash bin of the recipient. Many people go directly to the subject line of an email before they can decide whether to proceed reading the entire message or not. So ensure to write a concise subject line that conveys your purpose of the email. Here are a few examples of subject lines to attract your recipient's attention. Here are a few subject lines to avoid. If you are not sure what subject line to use, think about the purpose of the email and then describe it in a few words and then proofread it before you proceed. Number 7. Attachment. Though I have given attachment as the 7th field, its place may vary in different service providers. This field includes the documents sent separately. Number 8. Salutation. Always open your email with a greeting such as Dear Lillian. If your relationship with the reader is formal, use their family name. Example, Dear Mrs. Price. If the relationship is more casual, you can simply say, Hi Kelly. If you don't know the name of the person you are writing to, use To whom it may concern or Dear Sir or Madam. Number 9. Body. Just like the body of a letter, this is where you will share your full message. If you are replying to a client's inquiry, you should begin with a line of thanks. For example, if someone has a question about your company, you can say, Thank you for contacting ABC Company. If someone has replied to one of your emails, be sure to say, Thank you for your prompt reply or Thanks for getting back to me. Thanking the reader puts him or her at ease and it will make you appear more polite. If you are starting the email communication, it may be impossible to include a line of thanks. Instead, begin by stating your purpose. For example, I am writing to inquire about, or I am writing in reference to. Make your purpose clear early on in the email, and then move into the main text of your email. Remember, people want to read emails quickly, so keep your sentences short and clear. You will also need to pay careful attention to grammar, spelling, and punctuation so that you present a professional image of yourself and your company. Before you end your email, it's polite to thank your reader one more time and add more polite closing remarks. You might start with, Thank you for your patience and cooperation, or Thank you for your consideration, and then follow up with, If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to let me know. And I look forward to hearing from you. Number 10. Sign off. There are numerous ways to end an email before you write your name. However, for the purpose of remaining professional, you should not be too creative in this part. So choose a sign off that looks professional, such as best regards, respectfully, yours truly, sincerely, kind regards. In a more casual email, you can use best, cheers, thanks. Number 11. Signature. The signature is where you identify yourself by name, title, and any other information relevant to your communications. Most email programs allow you to set a fixed signature that's automatically added to the end of every email you send. The signature consists of sender's name and title, company and address, telephone number, web address, and social media link respectively. Here's an example for a professional email. Before you hit the send button, review and spell check your email one more time to make sure it's truly perfect. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. Feel free to comment if you have got any queries. If you like this lesson, please click the like button, and thank you so much for staying with me till now. See you soon with another lesson. Bye.